Hello, hello, welcome. Come in, say hi. Let's go. I am happy. I'm excited. This is going to be good. Hello, bless you. Come in, say hi, and we are going to get started. Hello, hello. Come in, say hi to me, and we're going to get started. Fight or faint, overcoming the victim mentality. Yes, yes, yes. I'm ready to get right into it. If you miss it, watch the replay. If you miss it, watch the replay. But I want to get right into it. If you're with me, just say hi. Give me some hearts. Say what's up. And I am going to get into this. My name is Timothy Lane. I am a pastor, therapist, author, trainer, and literally do sessions all day. I have an inner healing and deliverance counseling practice where I do inner healing and deliverance counseling. So that's who I am. That's what I do. And let's get into this. Blessings to you. Hello, hello, hello. I see you all coming in. You're saying hi to me. That is awesome. Okay, I'm not going to prolong it. Let's get into it. Fight or faint. Overcoming the victim mentality. So what is the victim mentality? It's when a person has been victimized, and as a result of being victimized, they become a victim to the actions of others or the circumstances, and they believe it's a belief system, it's an identity that they have no control over things that's happened to them. Okay, so they constantly blame others for what happened, because of what happened, and why they are where they're at. Okay, because of what happened to them, they blame others, or they use what happened to them as an excuse to why they are where they're at and why they can't move forward. So what happened to them, or what somebody did to them, justifies why they cannot move forward. All right? So they complain and they don't think they can take control so that they can be cured. Now, this is going to shock you, but there are some benefits of a victim mentality. Okay? This is going to shock you, but I'm going to share with you the benefits of the victim mentality. That's why people stay in that mentality. That's why people stay in that state. That's why people become comfortable in that state, because there are some benefits to the victim mentality. Let me share with you some benefits to the victim mentality. The first thing is, one of the main things is sympathy support. Okay, there is a such thing called sympathy support. In other words, people will feel sorry for you. And because they feel sorry for you, you have free access to their resources. Okay? As a result of people feeling sorry for the person because they're soaking and they talk about what happened to them. So as a result of people feeling sorry for them, they get free access to to another person's resources. So they don't have to tap into their resources, because they're using someone else's resources that feel sorry for them. So they go from the victim mentality to usury. Okay? And the second thing is, the persons with the victim mentality, they get pity attention. Okay? So they get pity attention. Usually they feel alone, they feel isolated, they want to be around people, they want to get attention. How do I get attention? Well, I can get pity attention. Okay, so they bring the attention to them because of pity. Okay, so they're attention seeking through their sulking. Okay, so their sulking causes them to get attention. Okay, it's attention seeking. Okay, the next thing, the next benefit of the victim mentality is you have the luxury of enablers. Let me say that again. You have the luxury. Blessings to you all. Good to see you. Hope you are sharing. This is good. So when you have the victim mentality, the benefit of it is you have the luxury of enablers. So the compassionate people in their life will take responsibility to fix them. Okay, so the compassionate people in their life will take on the responsibility. The person takes on the savior complex, and I need to fix you, and I need to make you better, and I need to do this for you. Instead of it being your responsibility to get healed, your responsibility to get delivered, your responsibility to recover, the compassionate people in your life take on the responsibility. So your chaos becomes their crisis, and then you have them at your convenience. So you have the convenience of people trying to do for you what you don't want to do for yourself. Woo! I hope y'all catching this. Okay? So what happens is you have the comfortability of someone being your crutch. And a lot of people with the victim mentality, they're not conscious of what I'm sharing with you. It's not like they're trying to purposefully use people. A lot of this stuff, it is a subconscious way of manipulating people to for their resources, for their convenience, for their crutch. Some people are not consciously doing this, but this is actually what happens. They have the comfortability of someone being their crutch. Okay? So what happens is with the victim mentality is you're excused from the responsibility of recovery. Because you're a victim, because of the woe is me, because of this happened to me, you become excused from the responsibility of recovery. Okay, now let me share with you 3 keys how to overcome or get out of the victim mentality. Okay, because you never get free when you have the victim mentality. You will never get victory when you have a victim mentality. So the first step in order to get the victory is you have to get out of that mentality. Or if you're working with something with the victim mentality, you have to get them out of that mentality. Okay, so 3 keys to overcoming the victim mentality. The first thing is you have to take ownership. You have to take ownership. There is never a shift without ownership. Okay? There is never a shift without ownership. Even though someone hurt you, even though something happened to you, it is your responsibility to heal. It is your responsibility to recover. It is your responsibility to overcome. Even God never does for you what he's given you the ability to do for yourself. That's why he says, I will do exceedingly abundantly according to the power that works in you. Okay. So what happens is when you take ownership, you develop the right attitude. Okay. And it's your attitude that will get you out. You have to understand the victim mentality is the wrong attitude. It's a mentality. So when you take ownership, you develop the right attitude that will get you out. And that mentality is this: I may not have gotten myself in this, but it's my responsibility to get myself out. Okay. So when you take ownership, I hope I'm not talking too fast because this is a lot of information. When you take ownership, you tap into the fighter in you instead of the fainter in you. Okay, everybody has a wimp and a warrior inside of them. So when you take ownership, you tap into the fighter instead of the fainter. You tap into the warrior in you instead of the wimp in you. Okay, so the first thing is you have to take ownership. They didn't make you feel that way. I choose to feel this way. I've allowed them to make me feel that way. I allowed this to. So you're taking ownership, because if I allowed it to happen, then I can allow it not to happen. Okay. And then you tap into that fighter. The second thing is you begin to take authority. Every believer has a God-given authority to overcome every issue, every disorder, every situation, every demonization, every wound. You have authority, whether you realize it or not. Okay. So what happens is you have to take authority. You have to take authority over how you think, how you feel. You have to tap into the power that works in you, so that you can use your authority, so that you can speak to the mountains and command the mountains to be removed. So you can bind on earth, whatever you bound on earth will be bound in heaven. All those type of scriptures that we shout and dance over, but we don't walk in, and we don't live it out, and we don't use it. You begin to use those tools, those resources, the power, the authority that God has given you to take authority over your situation and take authority over your healing, your freedom, or your deliverance. Okay? So you have to take ownership. You have to take authority. And the last thing is you have to have faith. Okay? It takes faith to get fixed. People do not get healed, do not get delivered through doubt. So it takes faith to get fixed. See, the victim mentality, they're full of doubt, they're full of distortions, they're full of hopelessness. You can never help anyone in that mindset. So their mindset has to be shifted before they can get mended, or so before they can get healed. Okay? So the people with the victim mentality, the problem is not their wounds, it's the walls that they put up. It's the walls of hopelessness, the walls of doubt, the walls of negativity. In order for them to get fixed, in order for them to get free, those walls have to be torn down. Okay? So the last thing that I'm going to share with you, and I am done. I just want to share this quick thought with you. How do I help someone? Not enable, not criticize, but how do I help someone with the victim mentality? Okay, this is important. How do I help someone? Because some people are enablers. When you enable someone, it doesn't help them. It doesn't heal them. It makes them comfortable in their chaos. Okay, so this is how you help someone with the victim mentality. They have to be challenged to change. A person with the victim mentality has to be not criticized. They have to be challenged, not coddled, but they have to be challenged to change. Okay. So there was a man at the pool of Bethesda. He couldn't move. He was paralyzed. He had a victim mentality. He was bound for 38 years. Jesus came up to him. Jesus says, "Do you want to be made whole?" Asked him a simple question. What happened? When Jesus asked him a question, his mentality showed up. Immediately, he started blaming others. No one's they get in before me, and no one brings me in. Watch this. Watch how Jesus responded. Jesus did not entertain his excuses. Oh my goodness. Jesus did not entertain his excuses. Jesus challenged him to do something. This is what Jesus said. We're not going to focus on what people are not doing. Let's focus on what you can do. Jesus said, take up your bed. Jesus says, rise, take up your bed and walk. See, people with the victim mentality have to be challenged to do something for themselves. So when I have clients with the victim mentality, I challenge them. I challenge them to get into therapy. I challenge them to get back in church. I challenge them. Oh, are you reading the word like you're supposed to be reading? Are you attending church? Oh, no, I don't go to church no more. Okay, so you need to do this and you need to. I challenge them to do something. I challenge them to change the way that they're thinking. I challenge them to do something. I challenge them to find a support system. I challenge them to tap into the authority. I challenge them to do something. Okay, so Jesus challenged them. He had to rise. Jesus didn't pick him up. He had to rise He had to take up his bed. He had to walk. Jesus spoke, but the man had to do the work. See, the problem is with when you're working with the person with the victim mentality, they want you to do the work for them. It will never work if you fall into the trap of doing the work for them. It will never work. You will exhaust yourself, you will deplete yourself, and they'll still be in the same spot, or they'll get better and then they'll relapse. They have to do the work. As much as you want to do it for them, you can't. You can support them, you can stretch them, but you have to challenge them to do the work for themselves. It will not work if they don't do the work, whatever that work is. All right. So I wanted to share that with you. There is hope. There is help, but it has to come through the person. You cannot fix a person that's not willing to do the work that they need to do to get fixed. It won't work. It will not work if they're not willing to do the work. Please understand that. All right. I love you all. I have an awesome training coming up next week. It is Inner Healing and Deliverance Certification course where I'm going to teach you and train you in inner healing and deliverance. I'm going to do impartation. I'm going to do coaching, powerful, life-changing training. It's a cohort. It's a 5-week course. Go to godtherapy.net and click training. You still can get in. We have people from Canada. We have people from North Carolina. We have people from all over the states. It is going to be awesome. If you're interested, if you feel called to inner healing and deliverance, go to godtherapy.net, click training. You can also watch a free training video to give you some insight on what the session and what the cohort is going to be like. I love you all. Bless you all. Please share, and I will see you all later.